1, 2, 3, funk it.
My darling, I love you, 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 I love you,
Yeah, this one's slow motion. Half the team are heading off to another island to stay the night. The other half of the team has decided they're going to do kind of more an activity-based trip today. Just a day trip at the James Bond Islands, because apparently that's still relevant after like 40 years. The thing is that I don't think anyone knows what they're meant to bring, because no one's done this before, so everyone's just kind of bringing stuff. We're not going to do any photo shoots today, I don't think. Maybe later on tonight if we get back at an early enough time, but I think today is just about experiencing the culture and just having fun in Thailand. Legs or sausages? Definitely legs.
Legs
Could be.
sausages.
Could be sausage.
Sausages.
The trip itself costs a variable amount and they'll pick you up from the resort. Depends on how you book. But when you get here, you'll have to pay a 30 baht fee for insurance. I'm not sure if that includes the insurance that I paid for before I left New Zealand, but 30 baht is like 4 New Zealand dollars, so you might as well pay it.
The tour we're taking today is one of many tours with the same name, but I'll put a link below to the exact one we're doing. No matter how you book though, all versions of this tour depart from the Phuket Boat Lagoon, and I highly recommend getting some snacks and water from the shops here, because it's an all-day trip, and once you're out there, there's no coming back until you've visited every destination.
Mickey brought sea legs for us, just in case. And if you are going to take them for a boat ride, you need to take them 30 minutes before the ride actually takes off, so they have time to kick in. There's 22 people, there's 22 seats available on each jet boat, and there's 8 of us. So, I mean, it should pretty much feel like a private tour anyway. You can go for a private tour if you want to, but it costs like an extra 2,000 baht, which is like 100 New Zealand dollars. It's not really worth it. I don't mind sharing with other people. Tourists are funny, and we're tourists ourselves, so fuck it.
For reference, today we're exploring the Phang Bay, which is called a bay for some reason, but is actually about the same size as the island of Phuket itself. So if you're thinking about doing this trip without a speedboat, you're dreaming.
The ride that we're on advertises 22 people, but my estimate, I'd probably say we've got
It's
about
40.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean is we're not on the tour we originally looked at, we're on whatever Peachy put us on. So when I get back I'll be like, Peachy, that was not the same thing.
Thanks, Peachy. Regardless of having over twice the amount of people as was advertised, it's still pretty cool. And really only cramped if you grab a seat in the center. So word from the wise, if you're catching a speedboat tour, get on last so you can sit at the back. The view is better, it's cooler, and there's more room to spread out. Our first port of call today is Koh Rang Yai Island. This cute little paradise of white sand beaches is about 20 minutes from the Phuket coast. The appeal of this island, from what I can tell, is its seclusion. There are no big towns or cities here. In fact, there isn't much of anything, besides a restaurant on the shore with chairs for you to sunbathe and a pearl shop, as this island has been mainly used for pearl farming in the past. If you venture inland though, along the main path, you'll soon reach the other side and your own little private beach. At this point of the trip, you can expect a few refreshments to come around. Just things like biscuits and water mainly. But even if you're not hungry, take some. Because as we learned on day one, the heat can really drain your energy. This next location is a little random, but still cool. I say this because it feels like we were meant to go somewhere else first, but for some reason came here instead. Perhaps the next place wasn't ready for us. But anyway, we ended up taking a detour to the Diamond Caves. Or the Ice Cream Caves, depending on which tour guide you're talking to. Now, obviously the cave contains neither ice cream or diamonds, but from what I can gather, it's called these things because of the resemblance they have to the stalactites and stalagmites that form here. Also, remember to take photos, not souvenirs. Everything in Panga Bay is part of the national park, so taking things here is considered stealing or vandalism. Now, on to the reason we're all here.
Roger Moore, back in action in the exotic East as James Bond 007 on a collision course with the most dangerous man alive. The man with the golden gun.
What do you know about a man called Scaramanga?
The man with the golden gun. He always uses a golden bullet.
This trinket was sent with a note requesting special delivery to you.
Immediately. I will have you.
Yep. This is a literal clip from the movie, by the way. I didn't Photoshop this in. This whole third nipple thing is actually an important plot point in the film. Not even kidding. In 1974, Roger Moore and the White Wizard Saruman came to Thailand to shoot the man with a golden gun. And ever since then, this island has been known as James Bond Island. When the boat drops you off anywhere, it isn't entirely clear what you're meant to do, nor what you're meant to see. So when we were dropped here, I kind of thought this little patch of beach was all it was. But if you follow the steps far enough, you'll soon realize that the island is not so empty.
What the hell?
About 40 meters out from the beach is a 20-meter tall islet called Kotapu. This is by far the island's most photographed feature. There's also some caves to explore here.
So one thing they didn't say is that the caves are filled with bats. So it smells like shit. But there's also diamonds and gems in here, which you can't really see with a GoPro, but they have signs telling you not to grab the diamonds and gems or you will be cursed. So down there, there's a whole bunch of diamonds, gems, and bat shit.
I didn't find any bats, but luckily I did find my way back to the boat in time, because our next location is serving lunch. Hong Island is our furthest location that we'll travel to today, and is actually not even in Phuket anymore, but in the Thai province of Krabi, so quite a distance. The main attraction here is simply sightseeing. Along with clear waters, sheer cliffs, and a beautiful coral reef, Hong Island also has a blue lagoon that can only be explored by kayak or riverboat. So that's what we're here to do. Because the jet boat won't fit into the lagoon, it drops you off on a loading platform instead. where you'll then be picked up by canoe and paddled into paradise.
I also asked if I could paddle the boat myself and they said no. But maybe later on when we leave. Give these guys a break.
This is probably the most relaxing experience I've had in Thailand and a stark contrast to anything else we've seen or done so far. I also think everyone else felt the same way too, because from the moment we entered the lagoon, everybody started speaking quietly, as if we were back in the temple in Wat Chalong. Maybe it's just the calming sounds of paddles and water or the god-like rock features towering above us, but something about this place just feels sacred and safe. In saying that, not only are the guides really helpful, pointing out rock features and landmarks, but they do enjoy a good laugh and will try to spook you by making noises in the cave.
It's kind of cool because you rock up and all of the...
rock up!
You rock up and all of the kayak instructors are all waiting out in boats for you. You get off your boat and jump into theirs. But it's obviously it's a pretty fun job at the sounds of things. I mean, it's nothing to them, but they're all just kind of chatting and talking to each other.
It's pretty chill. And then, like, you know, there's so many people out here. It's insane.
Yeah, I'd say there's about 100 tourists, but spread out over this much space.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Got something over there that So thankfully one of the guys have actually let Jordan have a paddle. You should see a smile on his face. I think he's pretty happy. See?
Oh no.
Our particular guide also liked to point out every rock feature that looked mildly like a penis. And I appreciate it because that's hilarious.
Another big penis.
Apparently this is another big penis. That's pretty big. Look at him being a pro.
Yeah, we can.
He's like, yeah, break time.
After a good hour and a half of exploring, it's time to head to the lunch boat for some food and a short paddle before continuing our journey.
Olivia just peed.
Oh, Olivia, I could have like...
What kind of model? The glamorous life of a model.
Show me! Prove that I jumped.
Did you actually jump off that bit?
Yeah. Okay, I'll do it now.
Oh, did Jared get it? Alright, go.
Okay.
Go!
Our fifth and final destination of the day is Koh Phangan, or the floating village. Koh Phangan is situated at the meeting point of 4 major rivers, which makes it ideal for fishing, and also why fish is the main revenue of the island. It was established in the mid-18th century by Javanese fishermen because at the time it was illegal for non-Thai residents to purchase land. The way around that was to instead live on the water, and so the floating village was born. Being of Javanese descent, the people here are not Buddhist like on the mainland, but Muslim, and the golden spires of their mosque can be seen for miles. Exhausted and happy, we make our way back to the Phuket boat lagoon to pick up our souvenir and head back to the villa. So at the beginning of the trip they take your photo and they tell you they're going to give you a present. The present is that at the end of the photo they've printed your face on a plate. The present also costs 100 baht, but it's really not biggie, but that's fucking hilarious. To anybody considering it, I highly recommend the James Bond Island jet boat tour. It really has been a highlight of the trip so far, and I'll never forget what we've seen today. Next time on Adventure Thailand, Hannah finally gets to go snorkeling, we check out old Phuket town, and I hand the camera over to Mickey as she explores the streets. Till then, take care, and cheers Thailand.